Here's a quick update on the weather for North America and mainly the lower 48 of the United States and southern Canada. Let's take a look at what we have going on here. We have this front separating in southern Canada and northern U.S., separating the really cold air to the north, the warm air to the south, relatively warm air. We have a really batch of very cold air across the upper Midwest here, and we have warm temperatures, especially in Florida here. We're in the 70s. But out west here, we're getting some 50s along the coastline, but all of this is going to change. Everything you see across the country is about to change. We have some light snow moving through New York, Pennsylvania, but temperatures are marginally into the mid to upper 30s, and will stay that way throughout the night and into Monday. There's going to be a big warm-up in the east. Let's take a look at precipitation amounts here along the Gulf Coast in Texas with that low pressure ramping up. Over the next 3 to 4 days, we're going to see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain. Very beneficial rains for Texas, Louisiana, places like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, over towards, say, Houston, Dallas, and extending up towards the Mississippi River Valley towards St. Louis. And here in the Pacific Northwest, we're going to have a system moving into the northwest, producing 2 to 3 inches of rain in the next couple days. Let's take a look at the what we have going on here for the weather hazards. We have some light snow across the Great Lakes here, northeast. We have in the southeast here some drizzle, some fog indicated in the yellow. And here in the Pacific Northwest, that's where we have mostly light rain showers with some snow mixing in at the higher elevations. So let's take a look at the pattern change. First of all, we're going to look at the big warm-up. Let's take a look at the big warm-up. Here's we've got the ridge in the, this is for heading on into Wednesday through Friday of this week, later this week. We see the ridge in the east, and look at this huge trough developing here in the west, and that's gonna continue to build, and that trough will build further down, and you see the warm temperatures pushing up here in the east. Now let's take a look at what we have going on here for temperature-wise and the setup. This is the setup that I'm going to be looking at here. This setup looks as though at this time we're going to have the in the Pacific here, the negative Pacific Oscillation is going to become a very positive Pacific Oscillation. It's going to push the jet stream very far to the north into Alaska, and it's going to come really violently down along the Pacific coastline here of the United States and Canada. And then the jet stream is going to travel really far to the south, even south of Texas, into the Gulf of Mexico and up the East Coast. This is perfect track for East Coast systems. It's also a perfect track because you see the baroclinic zone. A baroclinic zone is the difference in temperature between the continental polar air mass and the maritime air that has a moisture conveyor belt heading off of the Atlantic. And you'll also have 60-degree temperatures, air temperatures out over the Atlantic. This is perfect for a clash of the air masses, and if we can get any potential vorticity, or any vorticity for that matter, to head into the area at between 500 and 700 millibars, we could very easily get a spin up of a low pressure. But I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves here because we're going to look at temperatures, because the models have very good handle on temperatures. They're not as good as predicting snowstorms and low pressures very far out. So that is the setup we're looking at for. We could be into the minus 40s and minus 50s across the upper Midwest, and we could end up pushing temperatures all the way down to 10 degrees into some of the northern, southern states here. But we're not going to get into specifics and exact amounts at this current time. I'm meteorologist Mark Molnar. Like us on Facebook at MeteoMark. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Here's a 4-day forecast for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Elmira and the northern tier counties of Pennsylvania.